the purpose of this talk is to help you. Now, we're going to be very frank about the matter. It's going to be spiritual counsel. When we get into things that could ignite a controversy, I'm going to quote our publications. So you'll have to take it up with God. You're not going to be able to say, well, that's his opinion. It is my opinion. I just have to agree with the published direction. And don't let it fly by and you look back and say, where's my children? They're not worshiping Jehovah God. Don't let it be because they still have to make choices. Don't let it be because you didn't give it your all. Here's what happened. This is very touching. A very responsible brother here at Bethel shared this about his family and his dad, and it's quite sobering as to what's involved with the need to really train up a boy, as Proverbs 22 brings to our attention, verse 6. That training takes time. So here's his father. All 7 are still in the truth. The 5 older children all served for some years as regular pioneers. 3 of the boys served at Bethel for many years. The 2 youngest boys didn't do as much in the truth. They're not even involved serving in the congregation. And the brother writes, over the years, Dad always has said it's his fault they did not do better in the truth. I would object and tell him, don't blame yourself. The system got worse. However, he would firmly say, because he's an honest man, no, in my heart, I know that I did not give them the same time and attention I gave the 5 older children. He confessed, I got tired of raising kids and just assumed that the 2 younger ones would follow the example of the older 5. I did not give the time and devotion that I did to the first 5. Now, he knew that, and he knew he couldn't go back and change it. He assumed full responsibility, and he was responsible. Maybe these 2 will come to their senses because their dad has since died, but it shows. The lack of taking the time and the training, it shows. There's no substitute for it. Either you're going to put the work and effort in, give them the best opportunity. Even when you do all of that, they have to make the truth their own. You know, a man that's not serving, there should be a real good reason why they're not serving as a ministerial servant. Remember, sister, you know how elders get put in awkward positions. What's the story of this brother? I'm interested in marrying him, but they'd already gone too far along. But I tried to tell her, I said, well, think about it. He's 23 years old. He's not a ministerial servant. She married him. She paid for that wrong decision. 23 years old, and you're not serving as a ministerial servant. Now, I have to mention this, something I've observed. I see it in the airports, but worldly women, okay, this is what they do. And it's all deteriorating. But sometimes, even some of our sisters now, and I suppose they're probably really lovers of God and such, but you're not thinking of this verse. And what it is this Spanx, the skin-tight stuff they wear. Now, are any sisters wearing it in the ministry? No. I can't say I've ever seen that. But when they exercise, they leave their home and they're jogging in this stuff. Look at the verse. Is that appropriate? To wear skin-tight Spanx or whatever they call it, it's not modest, and it's certainly not sound of mind. It's really not appropriate. There's nothing else to say about it. Now, you want to be in your home or your room and wear that stuff, that's your business. But don't go out in public like that and say you worship the true God. I'm just trying to stay in shape. Inappropriate. A lot to think about. Are you a spiritual family? You're going to do something about that if you had to have it. And whatever the motive, you hadn't thought of it, well, it's time to think about it. And the other one that needs addressing is for these young fellas, because the older ones aren't doing much of it, thankfully. It's the metrosexual look. We've addressed that in the past. We've said things about it. But what's happened now is really caught on more. Now, the metrosexual, that's the tight suit jacket and the tight pants, better known as tight pants. And they are tight, I mean tight, all the way down to the ankles. And that is not modest, brothers. No. It's not appropriate. It's not sound of mind. And I was proud of one circuit overseer who told me this past summer at one of the international conventions, because he brought it up, one of these fellows shows up for his circuit overseer visit, and he wants to go out to ministry, work with him, door to door, and he's wearing tight pants. And the circuit overseer was man enough, spiritual man enough to say, no, I'm not going door to door with you. Not with that dress up. Inappropriate. So a lot to think about, and you elders out there listening in, and be kind now. We always want to try to imitate Christ Jesus. You be spiritual man enough to tell these young fellas, you don't go out in the ministry looking like that. Not in this organization. And frankly, I have asked sister after sister, you know, what do you think of this? Do you find that appealing, attractive? You know, I'm just curious, because I'm not a woman. And you know what? I've not had one yet that thought they look good. But like I've been telling others, and this is a fact, the homosexuals that are designing these clothes, they like you in tight pants. Not spiritual people. So just something to consider with dress and grooming. Is it appropriate? Is it modest? Does it display soundness of mind? If not, do something about it. If you're a spiritual family. So with your family's prayer, and this has happened now, could it be that your child or children can just about tell us word for word what you're going to say in that prayer? That's sad. I mean, I've heard such prayers. You know, I remember one that stood in my mind. He loved God, I know that. I mean, it's basically, what do we got, the Lord's Prayer here? And he was never even a Catholic. So it just wasn't making any sense. The warning word. We share in the preaching word. Many will do it tomorrow because you're joining the program today. You had your Watchtower summary today. The fact is, this is blood guilt, and you take a good look at your hands, your families, and the single folks too will benefit. And the kind of blood on your hands that is spoken of here is figurative. You don't see it right there, but if you're really not actively sharing in the warning word, when God looks at your hands, could well be seeing blood. So if he sees blood on our hands, we're going with the ones where we're supposed to warn. It's that serious. Not my matter. And sometimes folks talk about this relative, that relative, and you know, they're baptized, but they've been going through a hard time, they're not preaching. And we love the inactive, we're going to try to help them. But you know, they talk about Jehovah like he's going to understand all this. And I'm like, what Jehovah are they talking about? I don't know him. He's not in here. That's your idea. This is serious business. It's life and death, whether we share in the warning word.